It was a deadly weekend on the roadways. We're reminded of just how dangerous our highways can be after a father and his 4 daughters were killed in a crash in Delaware Friday afternoon. Then in Raritan, New Jersey, an accused drunk driver kills a 1-year-old baby boy. And on Sunday in Long Island, a father and son were killed in a head-on crash. All right, let's bring in our guest for tonight's show. We're joined by Democratic Councilman in Linden, Peter Brown. Good to see you, Peter.
Thank you, Bill.
Also joining me by phone is Robert Sinclair. He is a AAA spokesman. Robert, welcome to Chasing News. How are you?
Very well. Thanks for having me.
So, Robert, let me start with you on this. We hear about these horrific crashes. I think it's very hard to wrap your head around what happened in Delaware to this family, losing 4 daughters and the father. But the trend, it seems to me over time, at least the past few years, is our roads are actually getting safer. Are you finding that?
Well, actually, the overall number of fatalities have been going up the past 2 or 3 years. Nationwide, that is the case. We're seeing more crashes, I think, because we're doing a lot more driving. There are more vehicles on the road. New car sales is strong. We're setting and breaking records as far as total miles driven in this country every year.
Let me ask you this. I've suggested this on my morning radio show, and I'm now teaching my son how to drive. He's 15. I'm teaching him how to drive stick. I want him to be able to handle distractions. And I wonder if, we've kind of gone so heavy on legislating against distracted driving instead of saying, you will be distracted. Let's teach you how to walk and chew gum at the same time, or drive and read a road sign at the same time and get more comfortable. Are we doing a disservice to an entire generation, not teaching them how to handle driving in this environment?
You don't handle distractions by working around them. You have to eliminate them. Now, know that there are technologies that will allow folks to use voice commands to send and receive texts and telephone calls. But as far as we're concerned, hands-free is not risk-free. These things must be totally eliminated in order for driving to be safe. Driving in and of itself is multitasking. You can't do other things while you're doing it and do it safely.
Peter, as a dad, and you're hearing what Robert is saying, basically saying it is multitasking. So back to my original point, you won't eliminate the fact that you have to do 6 things at once while you're driving. How do we do a better job of training to it?
To Robert's point, I agree with him. Any psychologist will tell you, as far as you can only clearly focus on one thing at a time. Being able to multitask is great if you're in office, but when you're operating a motor vehicle, you need to be alert at all times, because now it's not a matter of your safety, it's a matter of the safety of people on the road.
But to that point, you've got to be aware of traffic in front of you, traffic behind you, where your next turn is. You're listening to your navigation. So again, you have to be able to handle multiple things at one point.
Well, Bill, you're teaching your son also to be aware of his surrounding. And I think when I went to at least driving school, that's what I was taught. You were taught defensive driving as well. Not just be concerned about what you're doing, but what about the people around you. And I think we need to sometimes go back to the basics.
Thanks, Peter. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate you joining me tonight.
Thanks for having me.